Welcome to deepSPEAK. I'm Michael, this is Barbara. And Barbara, you're a doctor of Chinese medicine. You've been doing this for years. And, you know, we've heard you talk about gut health and better sleep. But how do we get to the perfect weight? You know, everyone's really concerned about their weight. Some people can lose it easily, some people can't. What's Chinese medicine's perspective on weight loss or achieving the perfect weight, and how can you help us?
Look, we don't really look so much at weight. We look more at also things like, how do you really feel? Are you feeling healthy? Because I think that idea or concept of weight is a bit of an old paradigm. So I do have a lot of clients who come and say, oh look, I just can't get rid of this weight, you know, it's around my middle, you know, nothing I do, it doesn't matter what I eat, you know, any amount of exercise makes a difference. So first of all, I work with the person to identify what their kind of constitutional type is. And then we talk about the foods that would be appropriate and the exercise that they're doing, because sometimes people need a blend of things. Sometimes people don't need like really kind of full-on exercise, but they need a more yin practice that's actually about going in and contemplating and actually stilling that mind. Because remember in earlier series we talked about the relationship between
the mind and the gut. Yeah, which is so amazing. Like who knew you could meditate and lose weight really? Because it improves your gut health. Wow.
And so I try and work with people on those kind of levels, and also I get people to like talk to me about what their kind of food history is. So what are they currently eating? What's their kind of pattern of food? Because some people who go into weight loss often have a very much a yo-yo approach to trying sort of fad diets, and then
which we know doesn't work.
No, that's right. So what we're trying to do is stabilize, you know, the blood sugar levels, you know, in the blood, in the actual system. And so, you know, by doing that, what we're trying to do is to kind of get very much a kind of a consistent approach to food, and also understanding what it is, you know, why people maybe eat certain types of food or how people eat. Because, you know, when I talk to people, I find out that people eat sitting at the computer while they're working, or they, you know, they're, you know, walking down the street eating, or, you know, maybe they're, you know, not eating in a way that's conducive to actually getting the best nutritional kind of outcomes. So it's a whole approach to looking at weight loss.
Okay, so if I was a client and I know that it all depends on constitution, we've talked about that.
Yes.
We now know the mind and gut health. If you guys have seen those videos, there's a 3-part series. But what would be, is there general advice you could give to people without knowing their constitution?
Yeah, certainly,
you could tell people?
So again, looking from a Chinese medicine point of view, we say that the morning time is the time when the digestive system is working best. So we actually, I know a lot of people skip breakfast, for example, and then maybe have a big meal at night time. At night time, if we eat a big meal, we're going into a yin phase of day, which is, yin means where everything in the body actually slows down. So that means digestion slows down too. So I talk to people about trying to have, if possible, their main meal in the middle of the day when digestion's working, you know, at its best, and then eat something lighter and earlier on in the evening rather than late at night.
Yeah, okay.
So that's one of the principles. Also, take time to eat. So when it's time to have your lunch, actually sit down and spend the 30 minutes eating while eating only. When we have other activities such as, you know, being on the phone or sitting at a computer and eating,
that's that mind-gut connection.
It actually influences, you know, the food, you know, the process of eating our food. And also looking at the energetics of the food that you're eating as well too. You know, is it fresh? Is it seasonal? You know, is it the best for your constitutional type?
So understanding your constitutional type. So the takeaway is that it's not so much, well, it is important what you eat, but it's actually when you eat, which is really important, and also what you're doing when you're eating.
Yes, and actually how you eat.
And it's how you eat. So when you eat, how you eat, and then also, of course, what you eat, and according to your constitutional type. And also,
maybe this is a bit further down the track, but understanding your pattern of eating. You know, like some of us eat certain foods because they were, you know, foods we had as a child, or sometimes we have a range of different emotions arise, and unconsciously we actually eat food, not being aware of the fact that we're using that food to actually, you know, suppress that emotion. So it's actually becoming aware of our emotions and how, you know, they might be impacting on our relationship with food as well.
Wow, okay, well thanks for that. So I'll pay attention to how I eat, what I'm doing while I'm eating, and what I'm eating according to my constitutional type. Thank you, Barbara. You're amazing as always. Okay.